Ann Landis Jaton coming to you from my home studio. Welcome to where I teach, and I'd like to talk to you in this session today about tuning with the peg. Last time we talked about tuning with our fine tuner, and today I want to cover tuning the A string and using our peg. So how do we do that? I'm going to show you an up close of my peg box, which we call this rectangular shape of wood at the top of the fingerboard. And let's find the A string first. Remember, there are 4 strings on the instrument: your G, your D, your A, and your E. All right, here's your A. So I want to take my index finger and trace all the way up, and don't stop until you hit the very top of the peg box and you see that the string is winding around the peg. Once you're there, keep tracing out. All right, and there you've arrived at the A peg. So how do we use the pegs? We actually turn them, and I'm turning the violin back around towards me now, up or clockwise, down, counterclockwise. So if you have the violin mounted on your knee, just resting here, if you can see a close-up of my hands, I'm turning up to the ceiling and down counterclockwise to the floor. All right, I'll let you see it from this side. Up and down. It's a little bit like you're kind of tightening and loosening a rubber band, if you can imagine that. And you can try that at home just to kind of get the feel of it, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you take a rubber band and just pull it tight between your 2 thumbs, say that's your string, and you take your index finger and you're plucking the string. If we pull it tighter and then looser, you should be able to hear the change in pitch. So that's what we're doing with our pegs. We're tightening the string and raising the pitch, and we're loosening the string to lower the pitch. And I'm keeping the violin on my knee and tuning from there today because as you're getting started, it's really ideal for you to be able to see the peg box and see the peg and the string moving together as a unit. And also important to note that as I am turning the peg, I've got my left hand here supporting the instrument. And this is because when I turn the peg, I actually push and turn. Very, very important. So I'm applying a certain amount of force, and I need my left hand there getting started, especially with beginning tuning, to feel that force and counteract it. So I've got my left hand here stabilizing, and I'm pushing and turning up, and I'm pushing and turning down. So practice that, just the actual push and turn, to get yourself in the habit of applying that force that's necessary to tune with our peg. So as you can see, I'm going up and down. Okay, let's just listen to the peg and the string move sort of like you saw with the rubber band. So I'll turn my instrument towards you here, and I'm tuning backwards, so bear with me. But here's my A string. It's super loose right now. Wow, I just made it a lot looser by turning it a little bit down. And as you hear, the pitch is increasing and it's going higher as I turn up to the ceiling. Now, I'm going to adjust it one last time. And leave it there. So, let's pretend that you just took your instrument out of the case and I've left it there for you to tune. Let's get our tuner, and I'm using a digital today just because it's easier for you to see. If you're tuning with an app, that's fine. Again, this is just the best case for me to present so that you can see it. But for your app, pretty much you should be able to have it play to you the tone of A440. But we're going to use the digital today. So let's turn it on. And we want to make sure it's calibrated to 440, which it is. And let's pluck our A string. Let me try that again. So it's actually displaying G. The pitch of the string is nowhere near an A. It's on a completely different pitch, a G pitch. We need the A. Your goal at this point is to get the tuner to display an A. How do you do this? Knowing where we were last, we were on a G, we were too low. And we know this because the string is loose. So you just want to experiment with raising the pitch and lowering the pitch until you can reach, until the tuner will display an A. So let's try that. Wow, no, D, too high. There I am. I've got an A. I'm not 440, but I'm very close. So as you can see, I altered the pitch by pushing and turning my peg, and that gets me into the neighborhood of A. Once I get there, I have a choice. I can either keep using the peg, or I can switch to my fine tuner, which is really all I need for little minuscule fine adjustments. So I'm going to do that. You can continue bowing, or you can pluck the string, pizzicato. I'm going to continue bowing because I want to demonstrate that. So remember, when you do bow and tune, you bring your left hand under and you find the A tuner by feel. All right, so I'm finding it by feel. So I'll turn the tuner on so we can finish the process. Balance my bow on the A. Beautiful A. There we go, in tune. So as you can see, I used a combination of tuning with the pegs and then I switched to the fine tuner. But the most important thing about the pegs is it does take some experimentation, patience, and perseverance. I think for any beginner that is learning to tune their own instrument, you definitely want to have it in front of you on your knees, supporting that, using your left hand to really feel the push and turn from the peg on the other side of the peg box. So I would recommend starting that way. And finally, do not be afraid of the peg. It is there to help you, and I'm sure many a violin student have broken several strings learning to tune, and that is part of it. So stick with it and experiment, get your tuner, feel comfortable with turning the pegs and pushing in, applying a little bit of force. And before you know it, you will be tuning your own instrument with the pegs. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and hopefully you have learned something that you can take away and apply to your own violin journey. Thank you. Have a great day.